Hi everyone, it's Renee with Delaney Jane Cards. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be playing with the Rabbit Hole Designs Caffeinated Turkey and Altenew's Coffee Craft Repeat and this Woodland Forest stamp or paper pad by Pebbles. I don't know exactly how you say that. I'm also going to be using some matte embossing powder and some Distress Oxide inks. I'm going to first start by stamping this turkey, and he is stinking funny. He is cranky and crabby, and he looks like he's been in Fight Club, but we're not supposed to talk about it. And he's wearing boxers with turkey legs on them because I don't know, maybe it's a Fight Club secret. I really don't know. But he's so funny. All of their stamps are funny. Their caffeinated line of stamps are hilarious. I want to be friends with all of them. So in order to color him up, I have seen turkeys before, apparently, but I needed to kind of decide on what tone I wanted him. At first I pulled out like my E70s, and they were just too gray for his body. So then I went with my E30s, and the E35 is basically the color he is. And when I pick colors, I pick my mid-tone first. If I want something to be a tomato red, I will pick R24 first, and then I will pick a lighter color and a darker color. Usually it's one lighter color and two darker colors if I'm doing a 4-color blend. Anyway, back to this. I'm not using reds. I'm using earth tones. But here is my turkey getting colored up. His basic coloring is E35. It's that warmer honey looking brown color. So I have a lighter color and a darker color, and I just did not have the dimension that I wanted in him. So I did bring in this E79. It is really, really, really dark, but it made all the difference. You can see here that once I add that, you can definitely see where the difference is. And by me coloring him completely the first time, you can see how much that dark color makes a difference. He's still that E35 color, but he has some deeper shadows, and he looks more round and more roastable. He looks more delicious, maybe. He's definitely still cranky. Anyway, here are his boxers, and I stamped these on some orange paper from that paper pad, and I used my colorless blender to kind of blend it out. And then I was kind of drying that colorless blender a little bit before I went in with my same E markers for the turkey legs. And then those are the patterns that I was using, and that's where I was pulling my colors from. Again, I pulled the mid-tone out, and that is the color that I'm really coloring. And I use a lighter and a darker color, because that's how things look in real life. The color that something is basically the medium color. So this was a new color combo for me. I really don't normally color with these three colors. This is E18, E07, and E04. And I'm totally in love with this combination. I think it's just beautiful. I could see it being used in like desert scenes on the rocks and stuff, and now I need some like desert looking scene stamps or something, because that color was so pretty. Now these are the E markers that I had originally pulled out for the turkey. I decided to use them on his feathers here. He looks like he had gotten into a bar fight. I swear he's part of Fight Club, and we just aren't supposed to know. But I thought these were really good colors for him. And he's got these like partial broke off feathers. He's just stinking funny, and I just can't even. He's hilarious. So here I used yellows for his beak, and I got that off of the photo, that I looked up on my phone. And then I brought in red because this, is it called a wattle? Is it a wattle in a turkey? I think it is a wattle, but it's red. So I colored in red, and then I added the E04 and the E07 to his eye, and then my colorless blender is been acting up, and it decided to bloop all over my thing, which eventually works in my favor. In the still shots, you can see that kind of makes his eye look round, which is It's fine with me. So I brought that red in on his coffee mug that is full of whatever is going to apparently make him happy. I think it might be coffee. And then I used those E70s on his slippers here, just to tie in all the colors. I could have done something crazy and went with like, I don't know, purple or whatever. And when I was coloring that, I realized that I did not do the waistband of the underwear, so I fixed that. And then here I pulled up this Altenew stamp. This is at the Scrapping for Less store. That's where I got it. It was one of the deal of the days. You should watch the deals of the day or whatever she has or they have there. Sometimes you get some really good deals. My problem is I always end up thinking, oh, I got such a good deal. Let's see what else is available. And then I buy more things, which I don't need. Anyway, I chose to stamp this in this Distress ink here. I think it's Vintage Photo. And then I used the matte embossing powder in that giant container. And I heat embossed this bowl with that. I did it right on the pattern paper, and it's like a kind of a minty greenish and brown houndstooth pattern. I just thought it kind of looked like one of those tablecloths at the like mom and pop restaurants that somebody might set their coffee cup down on. And I had die cut that circle out of some stripy paper, and then I fussy cut his little underwear, drawers, boxers, house shorts. I don't know what you call them where you are, but his grumpy pants. And I went around the edges with my Tombow Mono, or it's not Tombow Mono, it's a Tombow marker. And then I wanted to, pick my paper for my sentiment, and I chose the same orange paper that I used for his underwear, and I lined up my sentiment here, and I used my black, and there's grid lines on this black. I think it's Spellbinder's black, pretty sure. And I stamped this with the same brown distress ink that I used to stamp the coffee, and then I also embossed it with the same matte embossing powder. And I die cut this with one of these Simon Says Stamp sentiment labels, I don't know, go-to sentiment cutout things. And I adhered this coffee stamped panel down. And what I should have done is adhered my circle first, so that it would have been easy to trim off, because then I wouldn't have had to use my paper trimmer to trim off a circle, which I did. First, I paper pieced his little underwear onto him, so that he is now fully dressed. He's still angry, but he is fully dressed, or at least kind of decent maybe. And then I just trimmed off a little bit of that circle so that it fit on my panel the way that I wanted it to. Laid that down. Then I adhered my turkey. Oh, I did pull out these diaries. Okay, so here's the deal with these. I have seen them everywhere, and I finally got some. I don't make shaker cards that often, but I thought, sometimes I just don't want to fuss with cutting tiny pieces of foam tape. This did not solve that problem. What happens is it's a different dimension than my regular foam tape. So I first of all have to use so many of these to fill in my little turkey here, because I already started using them, and then I was just like, oh my goodness, this is a lot more work than the whole plan. And I used the same things here for the sentiment, made sure that everything was the same dimension. And I don't know. I don't really make shaker cards. I know that's kind of, they're selling features. They're thin, and you don't have to use 2 layers because they're kind of deep or thick. Like they're thin strips, but they're kind of, deep, I guess. And then I had trimmed off this banner end here so that it wasn't exactly straight, because, nothing is really straight. See, my lines are not straight on my pattern paper, and anyway, whatever. And I put the turkey down, and then I had these puffy stickers. They are from a Scrapping for Less kit, I don't know, long time ago. And I wasn't sure where I wanted it, so I actually had trimmed the plastic down and then kind of slid it around on my card there and glued him down where I wanted him. Why did it begin with him? Glued it down where I wanted it. Then I added some white gel pen details to my very sad, no, he's not sad, he's angry, tired, uncaffeinated. He's well, my very funny looking turkey. The sentiment, by the way, says thankful for caffeine. You could give this to just about anybody with a gift card inside for some coffee. I know I would like it. So here's some close-up shots. You can see through that embossed background, you can still see the pattern. So that's why I thought it looked really cool to have the coffee ring on there. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Do you like these kind of stamps? And as always, thank you for stopping by and give cards generously. Bye.